Welcome,
Okay.
Dr. Sunita, and thank you so much for joining
Thank
this
you.
live session with us. Looking
Thank
forward,
you.
and I'm very happy that you're here.
It's my pleasure too. It's good to talk to
Thank.
young generation homeopaths actually.
Wow, I'm glad that I'm still young, and you think so.
Even I am. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, welcome everyone in Tea Break Diaries. And I want to introduce Dr. Sunita Gandhi formally. So, she's a senior homeopath practicing from last 24 years in Mumbai. She has graduated from Mumbai, and also she has done her PG post graduation from London College of Homeopathy, where she was mentored and trained by her guide, Dr. Parinaz Umranwala. She has done her fellowship from the Athasong International Academy, where she got esteemed guidance of world-renowned homeopaths like Dr. Shankaran, Dr. Jay Shah, and many more. She consults in her own clinic in Andheri, and also she is a senior consultant in the Other Song Clinic. She has this passion for healing the sick and spreading the awareness. She also teaches in the Other Song Academy and otherwise also. On YouTube, you can get a lot of videos from her, and she has a unique quality of teaching very nicely. So students are really fond of her teaching. I am also really fond of her teaching. So we welcome her in Tea Break Diaries on behalf of Homeopathy Junction. And we today we will talk about her homeopathic journey, and what she has learned, what obstacles she have faced, everything. So everything about her journey, and I am very sure that you will be enlightened, and also you will like and enjoy this journey of Dr. Sunita Gandhi. And if you have any questions, you can put in the end so that we can take those questions. Okay. So Dr. Sunita, can you see me?
I can see you, but your video is paused. It's just circling, and I am not able to see you communicating with me. It's at a standstill.
Okay. Yeah, I can also not see my video actually.
Oh,
Just a
not
second.
bad.
I'll switch my I will switch my internet.
Yeah, I actually took it on.
There is no the video is paused.
Can you see my video running properly?
Yes, yes. Your video is proper.
Okay.
I don't know. I tried switching also my internet, but it's working very well. Still my video is not coming. I don't
Yeah. I I can't. The video is paused.
The video is paused. Okay. So okay, we'll start. I guess it will come slowly.
No problems. I'm good. No
That is
worries.
okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine. If there's
Okay.
a problem with my video or voice, please let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know. No problem.
Okay, great.
So my first question is, let's start this conversation. So my first
Sure.
question is, how you got into homeopathy? How you
Accident
become a
would be a nice
homeopath?
word. Accidental homeopath.
Okay.
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 No, see, my if you wanna know how I became a doctor, I think that'll be better because
Okay.
this started on the day that I was born. You know how you've seen the movie
Mm-hmm.
Three Idiots? अरे
Yes,
लड़की
yes.
हुई है ये तो डॉक्टर बनेगी So this is like in my family, either you become a doctor or you become an engineer, or let it
अच्छा
be, I
ऐसा
will not
है
say anything further. So it's like that, अगर लड़का हुआ है तो engineer बनेगा और लड़की हुई है तो डॉक्टर बनेगी.
डॉक्टर बनेगी.
So I have
Okay.
two older brothers. Both of them are engineers. My father is an IITian. So you understand that education was a big thing in our family. So,
Okay.
I mean, I always knew that there was no other line, that I had to be a doctor. So,
Okay.
but yeah, if you say homeopath, I won't say that was my first choice, although we have been brought up on homeopathy. My father is an IITian, but he's quite an all-rounder. He was the known proclaimed homeopath of our society, and we had all the medicines at home, and we've taken from biochemic remedies to dilutions to everything, centesimal, whatever, all scales we had at home. And we've grown up on homeopathic medicines. But like everybody, I think the first choice was to do MBBS. And the story is that I did get into it also, but I got into.
I missed my MBBS admission by 1 mark. Like I went to Wardha. I thought I have secured the admission because I got a letter stating that you have the admission. And I said bye-bye to everybody in my family. And I bought lots of Maggie and a cooker and khadi clothes, because you're supposed to wear khadi clothes over there. So I went lock, stock and barrel, and little did I realize that I was waiting list number 4, and waiting list number 1 had not confirmed, so my admission was confirmed. So just as I was about to go for my interview, enter the door, dramatically, this man comes and he takes the place. And I didn't get in. So what happened was I came back crying. And I cried and cried for days, and it was horrible, totally horrible. But what do you do?
And then
I cried, my family cried, and everybody cried. So that's the story. And then I remember that can you hear me? Because I can't hear you any longer.
yes, I can hear you. Am I audible now?
I don't know, my voice seems to reverberate.
Hello.
That's I'm not able to speak clearly.
My voice is echoing or what?
I'm gonna try this again.
I don't know what is wrong today. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right. Yeah, okay. Now this is good. So I missed my admission. Moral of the story, long story short, I missed my admission and I was devastated. And I stayed in a very devastated position for a very long time, because even that year our homeopathic admissions were delayed. There was some problem with the college, so we got no call. So I was with the BSc seat in my hand. Not that there's anything wrong with BSc, but I wanted to be a doctor, remember? So,
But in the meantime,
and I was a teacher in a school that time, a very, very famous school in Mumbai, and the principal once asked her that, Miss, why are you looking so weepy-eyed and as if you've not slept, and why? So she broke down in front of the principal. Her name was Mrs. Edelberem. She's no longer alive, but she was the first woman who impacted my life, and that's why I wanted to share this story. So Mrs. Edelbarum came to know that I missed my admission and whatever, and I was very depressed. And so she said, just call Sunita over. I want to talk to her. So I went again VPI'd to her, and Mrs. Edelbarum told me, see Sunita, today I am the principal of a very, very prestigious school in Mumbai. And I faced a situation like you some 30 years back when I was called for an interview with Air India to be an air hostess, and they rejected me. She was a very pretty woman, she was. And she says, I was devastated because that time being an air hostess in Air India was like the most happening thing for a woman. But she says, you know, Sunita, God has a plan for all of us. And if I would have been an air hostess, my career would have been over in 10 years, 15 years. And today I lead this huge, prestigious school. So, you know, don't worry. Maybe that was not for you and you have a better place to be. So, and I remember her every single day of my life, because today where I am so thankful to God, because I think this was my calling. If I would have become an MBBS doctor, I don't know if I would have been able to do what I am doing today. So I think this was the most beautiful thing that happened to my life. And I'm very, very grateful to God to make me a homeopath. So this is how I actually turned towards it. And then came the second woman in my life. I mean, I've always been inspired by women entrepreneurs or successful women, you know, because when you want to be successful, you look up to somebody. And the second woman is Dr. Divya Chhabra. Because I didn't want to be a homeopath, and I wanted to be an allopath, but I did not get my admission. So then again, my mother and Divya's mother were in the same school. And Divya's about 5 years senior to me from the same school. So we know each other from school times. Her brother and me were very good friends, whatever. So then Manju auntie, that's Divya's mother, told my mother, you get Sunita, let Divya talk to her. I said, no, I don't want to be a homeopath. I want to be an allopath. So we went to Divya's house, and I had to only hear her talking. So much confidence, so much happiness, very secure being where she was. She was in her final year of BHMS, so had just about started her internship. And when I saw her, this, you know, vibrant, what will I say, confident, budding homeopath who was very sure that she was in the right place, that gave me the confidence. Okay, if she is where she is and this is how she looks as in not just physically looks, but with the confidence.
Yes.
I said she knows where she is going and I'm going to follow her. So I actually took my admission because of that little meeting I had with Divya, and I was totally charmed by her aura. And till today, she knows I'm her biggest fan. So that is how I actually joined CMP in Mumbai and got in my journey as being a homeopath.
Wow.
But I'm very, very
nice.
thankful and very, very happy, very, very happy where I am today.
Okay. So your sadness and grief turned into happiness when you got the admission into homeopathy.
Totally. Not immediately, I wouldn't say, but the journey began, you know, and I always at that time had that thing, oh, I missed my MBBS by 1 mark, and all the embarrassment, you know, you come back from, you have said bye-bye to everybody and gone, and you come back home.
Yes.
It was
and
horrible.
with a lot
Those
of
3 months.
preparation and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yes,
So
I can
that's how it
imagine. It was
is.
so saddening.
Yeah, in
Okay,
the
that's
beginning,
great.
but that was God's plan, no? I mean, I had to be here. Would you be interviewing me, Yamini, if I would have been an MBBS doctor? No.
Definitely. Yes.
So that's how
That's
it
true.
is.
Wow. Okay, so how was your journey as a student in the college?
Very good. I think college CMP gave us a very good opportunity to be in the different spheres, you know. I mean, I was always a bright student. So, I mean, I'm not boasting, but uh, more than a bright student, I think I was a very hardworking student. I always say that my hard work has been always more than my intelligence. So, if I've come up, it is more hard work. Like we had three brothers and sisters in the house, and very often, you know, my elder brother is very, very intelligent. So, and I said, I can't ever match your intelligence, and you're so bright. And I said, I will match up with my hard work. So I work hard, I come up. You know, it's like that. So I think we got a very good chance in the college to groom ourselves, and there was a lot of extracurricular activities. I'm a drama queen. You know, I was there in every single drama because I love the stage, as you know. So
Yes.
we participated in a lot of things, learned from brilliant teachers. We had a very good relationship with our teachers. Plus, the hospital environment was very nice. The Mumbai Devi Hospital at that time, we got an exposure from different variety of teachers. So, you know, we have seen people prescribing acutes, people prescribing multiple remedies, people prescribing single dose, like Dr. Shankaran, Dr. Humranwala, Dr. Devadika. So brilliant, Dr. Nimish Mehta, brilliant homeopaths, and we got a chance to work with all of them. So, you know, again, being in Bombay and being at CMP gave me a chance to work with every single stalwart teacher, you know. So that was also a very, very important part. And I think I'm totally blessed to have such people in my life.
Yes, definitely.
So that
So,
was good.
wow, that's great. So this is a takeaway for all of us, because most of the homeopaths, they land up in homeopathy just by chance or just by fluke, I would say, because they don't
Yeah.
I would say 80% or 85% of the people who are actually doing homeopathy or alternative medicine, they just come here because they don't get the chance to go for allopathy, or they don't get selected, or sometimes they miss that chance somehow. And
Yes.
still, so
True.
so guys, if you have also gone through all these things, just learn this lesson, that that is the plan of God for you, and that's the plan of universe for you, and you'll go ahead, and still you can do very good. Dr. Sunita is a great practitioner. I have learned from him. She was my classmate when we did fellowship, and I saw her lectures. I have seen her mentoring students. She's amazing, and she's very successful practitioner, I want to tell you, along with a teacher. So you can also become successful. That's not a problem at all. And even if only by doing homeopathy you can become successful, that's my my
Totally,
lesson
totally.
of life.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Totally. And I have, Dr. Yamini, from the day one of when I started my practice in 1996, that's 24 years back, I have only practiced homeopathy. I have never practiced allopathy, but I have trained under many allopathic doctors. So, be it my internship, I was at Bandra Municipal Hospital, and then I worked with a gastroenterologist in their OPD. I worked with a general practitioner. I did a house post in homeopathy in our Mumbai Devi Hospital. Then I've done a house post at Shushusha Hospital in the medicine unit. Then I have done a house post for 6 months in Bhatia Hospital in the intensive pediatric care unit. You know, pediatric care and neonatal care unit with 900-gram bachus, you know. So I have extensively trained. But the day I started, I really feel it's very good, very, very important to get your clinical knowledge as well. So
Yes.
that was very important because patients come to us most times after having been to an allopath, right? And they are already with a big list of medicines that they're taking. So I think it was very important for us to, one, to know what's happening, what they're taking, two, to get the right diagnosis. Because
Yes.
we also should know our limitations. This is what we can treat and this is what we can't. So where is that
Yes.
fine line? So I think I mean, I worked for many years, 3 years almost with allopathic doctors, learning clinical diagnosis. Even like simple things like I remember we used to at Dr. Sanjeev Khanna's clinic take 20 ECGs in a day. You know, it was very technical work. But in that, when he taught us how to read an ECG, today it's so comfortable, you know. in your own practice
Yes.
when somebody comes with an ECG in hand. So that's so I think I
That's very
trained a
nice.
lot, but the day I started practice, I have never mixed practice, and I have practiced only homeopathy. And if there was a need, you create a friend circle of allopathic doctors who you can refer to. No, there are so many
Yes.
available and very nice and very helpful people if you develop your relationship. So I think that is also a very good takeaway if you want to say that develop your
Yes.
circle of
Definitely,
doctors.
I completely agree with you, and it is very important to have good relationships with all the colleagues, whether allopathy, homeopathy, and we can refer to
Yeah.
each other and learn. And that's
Yes,
very important. So,
absolutely.
so what is your suggestion? Do you suggest, because a lot of young people are here and they are listening and they are going to listen once it is put on the Instagram, that do you suggest that the like early students or the interns, or I would say fourth year, third year students should learn from whoever, I would say, whether general practitioner or a surgeon. So this clinical knowledge helps them, and they should learn. They should go to them and learn the diagnosis and everything. What is your suggestion?
See, if you ask me, I think it has benefited me. I can speak by my experience that it has benefited me immensely until date. When I come across as a confident doctor to my patient, I think I get that confidence back from those days where I learned
Yes.
and I worked with a lot of allopathic doctors also. The quantum of patients I saw and, to make a quick diagnosis. I think that's very important. So, do whatever. You work with a homeopath, work with an allopath. Don't, don't be in a hurry to succeed and don't be in a hurry to jump into practice because once you start practice, your learning your learning doesn't become as fast as it used to be because when you're working under
Yes.
somebody you always have somebody above you in case you make a mistake also. So I think it's very very essential to gather clinical knowledge.
Yes. And there are so many people, who join the clinic or hospital thing, and they just get so much influenced by the way the modern medicine practitioners practice, and they just get lost into that whole,
Yeah, that yes, because what happens is
chaos.
very simple to prescribe a paracetamol for temperature, no? While we have to sit
Yes.
and see, whether I want to give Brianna Eupatorium or should I give China? We have to kind of work around our remedies, which one should be given. So
Yes.
it happened with me also, like when I have done so much of work with allopathic doctors in the beginning, and it was very easy to give a crocin, no, for temperature also.
Yes.
But okay, then I was very clear in my mind. If a crocin has to be given, then the allopathic doctor gives, not me. So I had to master my craft, for which I think I must tell young homeopaths, you need to learn homeopathy well. The clinical diagnosis and everything is very good, but once the patient comes to you and you have to treat them homeopathically, you should know what you're supposed to give. You may not know everything when you start off, but you must master your craft and always endeavor to study homeopathy, learn. I mean, we are still studying, no? uh,
Yes. Definitely.
I did my fellowship after how many years of practice? I don't know, 20, 18, 19 years
Yes,
of
19,
running two
19,
clinics.
20 years.
Yeah, 18, 19 years of running two clinics in Mumbai.
Yes.
I put my ego in my pocket and I was learning from everybody. I mean, you were there with me in CCAH also, Yamini.
Yes.
We did our CCAH also together, and we had most people were 20 years younger than me. Only one person, Vishpala ma'am, was 20 years older than me, I think.
Yes.
The rest of them were all, but I had no qualms. You may have seen me. I have sat with Shrikant and learned how to use the software. I have sat with Pankil and learned how to make a PowerPoint presentation. Now, today we had to do an Instagram live. I didn't know how to use Instagram. And we sat yesterday and we did
Yeah,
a little
and you're
trial
doing it.
run. Yeah, and I goofed up in the evening today. If Vismay is there on this chat, can you say hello, Vismay? Because I messed up a little bit. I was trying this with my husband and I didn't know what to do, you know. So he must have joined, seeing it live. And I said, "Arey, isko nikalo, ye sun lega," you know. So
Okay.
it was so embarrassing. And then my sister-in-law calls me and says, "You know, we can hear what you're saying." So, okay, it's a learning journey, you know. These things are new, but if you have to go ahead, you will learn it on your way, you know. So
Definitely.
that's fine. I'm always ready to learn, but initial, yes, this may I. So I'm sorry again for what the mess up that happened a little bit earlier.
No, no, that's
So
okay.
that's
And
okay.
it's a great quality that you keep learning and keep going, and that's how one can improve themselves. That's the way.
Yeah,
So that's a great quality you have. Also, I want to ask you, so what
yeah.
was what is the biggest struggle in your life of being a homeopath? So in your homeopathic journey or in your career, what was the biggest struggle for you? And what was your
Yamini, there are
lesson?
quite a few. Yeah, there are
Okay,
quite a few.
tell us.
So, I wouldn't like to speak about it, but I know, when I talk about my journey, it inspires a lot of people, and we've done it at the other song a couple of times. And women homeopaths also like. Okay, if Dr. Divya has. Encouraged me, and I have got inspiration from her. Dr. Humran Wala, who's my mentor, I actually I mean, she's almost like God to me, you know. So she has been my biggest teacher in homeopathy. So I don't mind sharing a few of my struggles, because if that helps somebody, I'll be happy. So I've had lots of
Yes,
struggles. Today you
please.
see this Dr. Sunita Gandhi standing on the stage and talking and giving seminars and all of that. It's not come overnight. Success is a journey. It's a process. And young homeopaths, if you think when you come out of college and you are going to be there all over, I think get a reality check. There's a lot of things that happen in the journey. So I think I everything was all hunky dory till the time I practiced, and then I got married. So the first challenge comes once you get married, I think. So I
Mm-hmm.
have brilliant in-laws. I couldn't have asked for better in-laws. My husband's damn supporting. Uh, no, but once you're married, your responsibilities definitely increase. I
Increases,
got
yes.
married totally, yeah, and I got married into an intercaste family, completely opposite. I'm a Punjabi. I married a Gujarati. Again, like two
Mm-hmm.
states. So
Yes.
I cut down my practice into half. Nobody told me. My husband, my
Mm-hmm.
in laws, nobody said. I just said, I am not working half the day. I want to learn their culture. I want to learn their cooking, So I took a break of 1 year. I used to go only evenings to the clinic. I never went in the morning because I was learning simple things, how they make that meathi dal, for whatever, like
Okay.
the Gujarati dal or whatever. So suddenly that the woman in me started facing those challenges, that how do you meet ends with being a career woman who comes from a family of only people who are very, very highly educated, and women are supposed to work. And suddenly you're in the middle of so much of responsibility. What do you do? Okay, so even then it wasn't so bad. I could manage
Mm-hmm.
because it was all me alone. And then
Mm-hmm.
came the love of my life, my little
Your
baby,
son.
Shwet.
Yes.
Yeah, my son. Yamini, it was very difficult to leave him at home and go to the clinic. Again, he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to stop me. All right, my in-laws were there, my husband was there, but you're the mother. It was very, very difficult for me to do that. And what happens? You have appointments in the clinic, and your son is unwell. What do you do? What do you choose?
Yes.
Children fall ill. They need the mother then. But I think I took it a little slow those days. I cut down
Mm-hmm.
practice even. I never stopped practice, but I worked around his timings. And I that was a very, very, it was a struggle period, but I think, you sail past it. I cut down a little bit, and as and how his school started, it was amazing. He went to school 1 hour, 3 days a week. I started practice 1 hour, 3 days a week more, you know. Then his school became 2 hours, 3 days a week. I started clinic 2 hours, 3 days a week. So I used to drop him to school, run to the clinic, practice, come back, pick him up, take him back home. So it's that phase. I think if women who are married, the child is dependent on you. So
Yes.
you cannot help it. How much ever you want to be this, but you know, I kept the fire alive. He also started learning. I have taken him to the clinic. You know, 5 month old baby. Also, I've wrapped
Wow.
him up and take him in the clinic. And then my patients knew that the examining bed was for him. You know, so he was
Okay.
sleeping while I was talking to the patient. I would check the patients only on the stool. You know, that side stool that
Okay.
we had. And
Yes.
so, yeah, that was a very, very big struggle time. Uh, Nobody stopping me to do anything, but I
Hmm.
couldn't get my heart to get out and go all out. But you know, the dream was always there. I think that was the biggest driving force for me, the wanting to be successful in practice, the wanting to go ahead in life. So I those 10 years, I think we managed. And the moment he turned 10,
Hmm.
I think that's when life changed back for me again. He became more independent. Um, I think I also feel very happy that I spent a lot of time with him as a child. I never felt that, you know, being a working woman, I kind of left him totally. And then I got a chance
Okay.
to, there was this one course that came up, it's not even available now, called PG Home London by
PG
Dr.
Home London.
Jawar
Yeah.
Shah. Yeah, yeah. It
Yes.
was so it was a 1 year course. My son was 10 years old that time, or 9 years old. And
Hmm.
we had lectures from, and I just came to know that time that Dr. Parinaz Homranwala was a mentor there. And, you know, you had to do an X number of hours in the clinic of the mentor that time.
Okay.
And I spoke to Dr. Javasha. I said, if she takes me as her student and becomes my guide,
Hmm.
I will join this course. Can you beat it?
Wow.
I'm putting up. I said, because I have learned from 4 years after graduation. Also, I attended her OPDs, and she was my biggest teacher. And again, a woman
Hmm.
homeopath, so very inspiring. And I all
Yes.
told Dr. Javasha, okay, if she is, and she's ready to take me as her student, I will join this course. And my life took, I think, a 180-degree turn when I joined Dr.
Wow.
Humranwala. That
Yes.
has been a very, very good journey for me.
So tell us about that incident when you went to her and you started practicing. I mean, as an intern, you started practicing with her. After so many years of
No,
practice
no,
and experience,
don't ask me. My ego
no,
was
I have already
shattered.
asked.
Now I have to tell you.
That's I because I know
So,
that's a very interesting thing to know. So please share that.
yeah.
How was your experience
So,
with
see, I was
her?
again, it was wonderful. The experience, see, I have worked with her many, many years after college,
Hmm.
but never in her clinic, in the Mumbai Devi OPD. Even
Okay.
after I started my practice, Thursday morning was blocked. My clinic said Thursday morning off. I would be sitting with Dr. Humranwala. My chair was fixed in her OPD. I would sit in one place till we were physically removed and thrown out of the hospital. You know, that these are all ex-students. Why are they attending OPD and stuff like that? So 4 years I've attended her OPD, and
Okay.
while I was practicing also. So anyway, so now I am this. That time I think it was 2010. So how many years? Maybe 14 years, 15 years of practice. थोड़ा ego होता है यार. 15 साल से practice कर रहे हैं and all that. तभी भी I had 2 clinics and everything, you know. So I went to her. I said, "Ma'am, okay, I'm here. Thank you very much for
Okay.
accepting me. So, how do I start? What case do I take?" So there used to be like 4, 5 interns working there. Her, you know, fresh graduates. So she
Hmm.
says, "You're not taking any case." I said, "Why, ma'am?" Sit with
Okay.
her and learn how to take the case. I mean, she said, sit with her and learn how to take the case. I said, ma'am, I run a clinic for 15 years. If you don't know that, I mean, I didn't say that to her. It would sound very rude. But I said, ma'am, I know how to take a case and I've taken so many cases for you in the OPD. No, but they know the system of my clinic. When you're ready, I will tell you. For three
Okay.
months, I've sat and taken notes from these people who were like 15 years junior to me. They are taking the case and I'm writing notes and I'm learning. But you know, Yamini, that is what helps me most in my practice today. You know, I had to put my ego, fold it, put it in my pocket somewhere because there was no ego left. You know, I said, if I'm a student once again. And I used to be working in a clinic every Wednesday from morning 9 o'clock to evenings 9 or whatever, you know. So full full day clinic I've worked and taking cases after cases, and she had a humongous practice. So,
Yes.
one, I learned how to put my ego in my pocket, and the second big thing that I learned, which I would like to tell my audience today, I learned that you can have a very successful practice in homeopathy. She had a huge practice, and you know, for me, that lid was taken off. That this is the kind of practice you can have. This is the kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it, it sounds a little weird, but this is the kind of money you can make. I never thought I could. I never thought. I always thought that I am the woman of the house and what I make in my clinic is my pocket money. You know, and I never thought I could run my house with my practice. I never thought I could have a lifestyle after working as a homeopath. वो ढक्कन था. It was like a lid on my head, which just got removed. And I have never looked back. That day to now, you know, I don't want to sound pompous, the income doubled, then income tripled from what I was making, you know, and I thought I was making decent, you know, I was like, pocket money, chal raha hai, types. And then it just rose because there was no limitation, you know, the limitation was my own because it was, you know,
Yes.
we always felt a little less than an allopath, always. We always, that little, I don't know, it's a delusion, but seriously, no. If you are good at your craft, if you learn your craft well and you practice it with the right intention, Dr. Shankaran always says, you practice with the right intention. You may not know everything, but you practice with the right intention. Money, I never looked back at money again. I don't want to sound pompous, but I just want to say this to young homeopaths that you can make as much as you want to and doing it right. I have never done anything wrong. And that I can, you know, कहते हैं ना डंके की चोट पे बोल सकते हैं कि मैंने गलत
And
तरीका
never
कभी
done
नहीं
anything.
आजमाया.
Yeah, and never done
Wrong,
anything which
wrong medical
you
practice.
didn't want to.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
want
and
to, and
so
wrong
it's
medical practices.
yes, yes. And you know, that's the biggest, very important point, you know, you have just spoken that a lot of people, I would say most of the homeopaths, they have this delusion, they live their whole life in this delusion that they cannot make enough money. And you know, most of times they compare themselves with the modern medicine practitioners. So, and I would say that I also tell all the students whenever I speak to them that you don't compare yourself with anyone. You would make anything, and you can do that whenever you want to. If you really want
Yeah,
to do
totally.
that, you can do that. So that's the biggest learning, I would say. And you know, that this really inspires the younger generation to, you know, to
Yeah,
practice homeopathy and homeopathy only.
totally,
because
totally.
because when it comes to living, you know, uh, for handling your family or the responsibilities, they're ready to do anything, and that's how they, you know, land up into doing either hospital jobs or allopathy practice or whatever, mixed practice kind of. So that's a very important point, you know, that we all could
Yeah,
learn from you.
yeah. I think it's very important. Whatever you may say, it's very important to survive. You know, survival
Yes.
comes first. So even if you know, if you need to do what you need to survive, you need to do it. So I'm not
Yes.
against people working as RMOs. I don't judge them at all. There was a very bad phase in my life financially. We went through that was another second struggle. One I spoke about was, you know, handling the family in spite of having
Yes.
everybody so cooperative in my family and my in-laws and my husband and everything. But still, the struggle of being married and having a child and trying to be a woman was one. And then, secondly, bad times come in all of our lives. You know, time doesn't
Yes.
remain the same always. So, there came a time where the finances were a big problem. I mean, I hope my parents and my in-laws don't hear this video because they are not aware of it. But I want to tell them, my students here, we did what it took to make the money. We did it in the right way, but it wasn't through practice. We had to struggle because I had a 6-year-old baby that time, and we were in a house on our own, and all the finances we had to manage on our own, and we were in a big mess. And it was a 5-year long period. It wasn't 1 month, 2 months. You know, we had a phase in our life that at the end of the month, I would tell my husband, "ये महीना तो हो गया, अब अगले महीने का अगले महीने ही देखना पड़ेगा." You know, it was so bad for us. So we came through that. We did whatever we had to do. Both of us worked and made the money because survival is important. Whatever anybody says, I have to pay my child's school fees. We have to get food on the table. So that was important. So we did what we needed to do, but then then came Dr. Humranwala in my life, you know, and I really wished she had come earlier and I had seen this and I had the belief was mine that was lacking. So I hope somebody finds who child. And then I was into practice, never had to look back ever. Touch wood.
Yes, and that's why I told that this is a very important point, because whatever you think or you keep thinking, you would attract that. So it's a matter of your belief system. So if your belief system is like this, that we are not going to make that much of money, and we can't have that lifestyle, of course that is not going to happen. It's all about, if you feel abundance in your life, if you can attract that, and that's very important thing to learn.
True, true. That's
So
very
thank
true.
you for
I'm a
sharing that.
firm, I'm a firm believer of The Secret also. I always have that book by
Ah,
my bedside. And
me too.
again, that also came very late in my life, you know, but it comes when it's needed to. That book comes into your
Yes.
life when you require it the most, and I still have it. So even when sometimes I get a little, a little down, all of us do, I go back
Yes.
to it. So it's very important to have but I remember something that has really stayed with me. Dr. Abdul Kalam's one sentence, or maybe I can say a few sentences, and I think that is how I've lived my life. Also, I was going through one of his videos on YouTube. A child I'd asked Abdul Kalam sir that how are you so great? And he was like, "How old are you?" She says, "I'm in the fourth standard." And and how does he answer that question? How are you so great? So he asks her, "Okay, what is your dream?" She says, "I want to be a singer." So he said, "Okay, repeat behind me. One, you need to have a dream.
Okay.
Two, you need to acquire knowledge. Three, you need to put in a lot of hard work. And four, you need to persevere and never give up." I think
Wow.
I live by that. Have a dream, get the best knowledge, learn your craft, get the best in whatever you're doing. If I always tell, whatever you do your best in it and leave the rest to God. Put in your hard work. That was never a problem for me. Put in your hard work and stickability. Just stay there. You know, don't give up. Never, 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 ever give up. Don't quit. And then success is yours. So
That's so
those are the four
beautiful.
principles I live by.
Definitely, definitely, and that we all should learn that we should have the dream. We should have the knowledge how we will fulfill the dream, and then we keep doing that hard work which is needed to be in that position where you want yourself to be. and that's a very important lesson that we all should learn and pursue that. So thank you for
True.
sharing that also. So what keeps you motivated all the time? I have seen you are always energetic, and you are doing so many things and so well. You are teaching, and you are still handling your two clinics. You are going to other song also, and you also involved in a lot of learning also. So how do you manage
Totally.
all these things? What is your motivation?
I think because I love what I do. I mean, I actually love what I do. And I think teaching was one thing that really, really motivates me. My husband always tells me if I'm having a bad day and I'm a little irritated and I'm, saying, जाके एक lecture लेके आजा तो ठीक हो जाएगी. So I think
Very true.
so तेरा नहीं मतलब मेरा कोई lecture भी schedule नहीं. अरे you swap ना with somebody. So I think that I got that calling very. I mean, I think I always wanted to be a teacher. My mom is a teacher, but हमारी family में वो पता है again फैमिली की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए. So वो रिस्पेक्ट नहीं मिलता था. ऐसा था कि डॉक्टर है तो डॉक्टर और engineer. And can you believe we had 3 siblings? My elder brother is into full-time teaching. He's an engineer and he's doing so well for himself. He's a brilliant teacher, and
Okay.
he had to be. We have the genes, I think. And I loved teaching. So I've been teaching at the other song now for what, 6 years, and I think this was my calling: being with people, being with
Mm-hmm.
students, talking to them, um, teaching them homeopathy, teaching them other life skills, which have helped me. And I think that keeps me motivated because I totally, totally love what I do. I love being with my patients also. So even my clinic is not like, "Aao, fatafat baitho aur chale jao." I spend a lot of time. I don't want to see 100 patients a day. I see
Mm-hmm.
few patients a day, and I it's like almost like a mini case, since I've been working with Dr. Shankaran now at the other song, and for many years now, three years he's been guiding me personally. Till date, every Friday morning I have follow-ups with him. So
Mm-hmm.
I just learned more and more. So again, that is my that Friday morning is my learning day. The other days I practice homeopathy, and then I continue to learn. Again, joining Dr. Shankar was another one story. There are too many
Share with
stories
us,
in my
please.
life. Okay, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind. See, when we were in college, we studied with him. I was his houseman for a small, short period of time. I was Dr. Humdanwala's unit actually, so I was her houseman when I was doing my house post, and I did for some time with Dr. Shankaran also. And after that, I went to him and I pleaded him, "Sir, assistant lay low, assistant lay low." He never gave me any bhav, I'm telling you. He didn't, I mean, I don't think he ever knew me also, who she is. And I must have gone to him many times. So he would never say that there's a waiting list or there are a lot of people in line or nothing. He's saying, no, there is no vacancy. So, I mean, I tried a lot to work with him that time. It didn't happen. But, there
Mm-hmm.
is one thing. When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Teacher appears. Yes.
So I don't think I was a ready student. I had to unlearn a lot of things, and become, I think, a much more humble person that I am today. And I had to become the student for him to take me as a student. And I didn't approach him after that. Again, I didn't. And I got a call from the other song that Dr. Shankaran
Mm-hmm.
wants you to come and work with him. And I was like, now at this stage, 20 years into practice, so it was a little jittery, you would die to work with him. And then your ego came up, that you are,
Yes.
you are, you are already a senior homeopath. But I said, no, that is what I did with Dr. Humranwala, sat and learned from her. I said, this chance comes again. I'm not going to let it go. So I jumped at that opportunity again to work with him, to take cases
Okay.
with him, to share follow-ups with him. So my learning still continues. Friday, like Thursday mornings was Dr. Humranwala. Now Friday mornings are Dr. Shankaran. So, because I also, Dr. Shankaran, I think you may remember this, Yamini, he had told us, and guys, if you want to take this back also, Dr. Shankaran must have, in his own story, he had told us once that he wanted to speak somewhere or he wanted to join somebody and they didn't allow him to. But Dr. Phatak told him, I think once, that where the sugar is there, the ants will come.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember,
Right?
yeah.
Remember he said that the sugar is there, the ants will come.
The
So you
ants will
keep
come,
doing your
yes.
work. You keep doing your work. That recognition is going to come. Then today, I mean, he must be refusing so many teaching assignments, and because he's
Yeah.
so full of work, and it's so inspiring to learn from him every single time, and so fortunate to be working with him still. So, yeah, do your work, because if the sugar is there, the ants will come. All right, you will get what you need to get once you're ready.
Amazing. Yes, definitely. Okay. So, guys, you have to, first thing is very important, that you have to have a dream. And secondly, so you have to love your work. If you love your work, you can keep doing, and there is no end. You won't get tired of doing anything, just like Dr. Sunita. Whenever you will meet her in person or digitally or anywhere, I personally, I would say that, I love your aura. I love your energy. That is infectious. You just get a smile on your face
Okay.
that yes, Dr. Sunita is in the house. So that's wonderful. So you can also do that. Just love your work, and you can become like that, happy. So that's wonderful, Dr. Sunita. It was wonderful talking to you. So in the end, I want to ask you that what is your suggestion or your advice to the young students or the young practitioners of homeopathy, which they can, which according to you is the most important thing to learn, being a homeopath.
I can only tell my young audience today that success is a journey, it's a process. You need to put in what you need to. You come out of college and believe that everything is going to be hunky dory and you are going to achieve success is not going to happen. You will get it when it comes, but you need to keep working on it. Uh, you know, I also listen to Oprah Winfrey a lot. So she said in one of her sentences, she's saying there's nothing like luck. If people say you're lucky and that's why you have, you succeeded. People tell me, I know somebody told me you look good, that's why patients come to you. I mean, seriously,
Oh my God.
yeah, I've had
Kuch
patients say
bhi.
that. So I think then फिर वो Miss World को बिठा दो clinic में, and वो patients देख लें
Right.
मेरे से तो कहीं ज़्यादा whatever, So there is nothing like luck. There may be a lot of blessings. There may be, God's hand or your parents' hand or whatever. But Oprah Winfrey says success or luck is when preparation meets opportunity. You need to
Wow.
keep doing your work. You need to keep doing the process. You need to keep going at it. And that's the time when the right time comes, the right person comes in your life to take you forward. For me, being Dr. Divya Chabra, or being Dr. Humranwala, or being Dr. Jayesh Shah, or being Dr. Shankaran, all these four people have been immensely important in my life. And they came into my life when only I was ready. I had put in a lot of work, and of course, they led me to bigger growths in life. But I have put in my effort. So all I can tell you is that keep going, learn the craft, put in your hard work, and don't ever give up. This is a beautiful place to be. To be a homeopath is a blessing in my life. And to understand people, to understand myself, to deal with people, I would never have got it had I got that seat at Mahatma Gandhi Medical College. I'm telling you
Wow.
today that this is a blessing that has come into my life. to be able to influence people. So I think सर नीचे करके काम करते रहो. That's all that I can tell you.
Wow, that's so wonderful and emotional, I would say. And I also want to tell everyone who's watching this now that whether you are a young student, whether you are in your early 20s, late 30s, 40s, whatever, whether you are a mother of a young child, you are married newly, or you have a marriage of 40 years, 30 years, you can still do it. You can still do it and you can keep going on. Just believe in your craft and keep improving your craft by learning, like Dr. Sunita.
Totally.
And that was a wonderful, wonderful talk, Dr. Sunita. Thank you so very much for joining and
Thank you.
sharing your
Thank
personal
you, Yamini.
journey. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you,
It
Dr.
was
Yamini. It was
wonderful.
a
I
pleasure
hope
to be
you
here.
have also enjoyed.
Totally. You know, living back your years, it gives me new hope, new dream. And, you
Yes.
know, when you have a dream, you have a goal, you work towards it. There are a lot of other things that happen on on the way. So we start a new journey from now onwards. And all the
Wow.
best to all of you guys. It's been a pleasure to be with you all. And if any bit of my, you know, what you've liked, take it back home. What you don't like, just keep it aside. You know, it's not going to be that everybody's journey is the same. But a few things I think I have spoken from my heart, which I may not have told anybody before. But if it helps even one person, I think I've done my job. It's like I feel much more happier, and you know, if I've been able to touch even one person today, I'm done. Totally. Thank you,
Definitely. You
Yamini.
have
Thank you for
touched
having
many
me.
hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my heartfelt gratitude for your precious time. Thank you. Okay. And of
Thank
course,
you.
guys, keep giving us your feedback, how you felt. Did you like this session? A lot of hearts are coming up. I can see that they are really loving it. So I hope you enjoyed this session. We have done this session only to, inspire you, motivate you, and give you something which you can take away with you for your lifetime, for some time. I don't know anything. So keep enjoying yourself, keep doing homeopathy, and also give us your feedback. Thank you so much. Bye bye and
Yes,
good
why don't you
night.
please also send me, Yamini? I would love to hear from them. So if you have some feedback from
Yes.
the people attending today, please, you know, write to me on my email or message me on WhatsApp or Insta or whatever. You
Yes,
know, it would
please.
be
You should.
it.
You can follow Dr. Sunita on Instagram also and on Facebook. I guess she's more active on Facebook, so you can write down
Instagram,
her.
I'm still learning.
That's what I said. And also, you can email her if anyone wants her email, you can take from me. So I will message
Yes.
in the comment box. I will message her. I will write down your email
Yeah.
ID.
So,
Okay.
anybody,
So
what has inspired you from the talk? Any one thing that really you want to take back home? So that gives me more encouragement, also. You know that okay, somebody has got something worthwhile out of the whole talk. All right.
yes,
Thank you very much.
Bilkul.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night. Bye.
So bye bye, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Um, please do give your feedback to us and to Dr. Sunita also. Lots of love. Bye. And I want to thank Dr. Vaibhav Jain also for giving me this opportunity to, come on Homeopathy Junction and talk with such nice people. I'm really blessed. Thank you. Thanks, Taha. Lakshmi, thank you. Bye bye. Good night.